the way it started was I was picking up some to-go food from Stamey's Barbecue, which is, most people in this area know, it's the oldest restaurant in Greensboro. And I live near Wesley Long Hospital. And so on the way home from picking up our to-go food, I saw a nurse walking through the parking lot headed towards the hospital, and I assumed she was headed for her shift. And I just said to my family, I just wish I could do something for her, anything. And I just made the remark, I wish I could just give her my lunch. And it occurred to me, small businesses here in the area are struggling, especially restaurants. They're not allowed to have guests inside the restaurant, so they're scrapping for anything they can get through takeout, delivery, drive-through. And so I thought, why not raise money to feed the nurses, to thank them for what they're doing, and we'll use the money that we raise to buy food at retail from area restaurants so that everybody wins. The restaurant gets a good day because they get a good solid order for the day.
Yeah.
The nurses get the thank you from the community. And quite honestly, I thought it was going to be one lunch, one day, and I raised enough to do so. And before I woke up the next day, I had accidentally raised enough to do it again. And now we're into, $11,000 that we've raised totally. And I think we've provided 7 different meals from 7 different restaurants. And we have 3 or 4 more planned and some other things in the works. But ultimately, it was my way of giving back or doing something. Our assignment is to do nothing.
Right.
And I'm just not a good do nothing kind of guy. And so this at least allows me to still honor social distancing. I can do most of this from my couch. So I get to stay at home as I'm required to do and still have an impact. And so it's been a pretty neat experience. But most of all, it's just a good way for us to show appreciation for what I consider the soldiers in what I consider our war right now, and that is frontline workers at the hospitals.
Well said, and I think a lot of our listeners would agree with that sentiment right there. And amid all this social distancing, it really is amazing to see how the impact of social media, and you've used social media to spread the word about this.
I do have the unique advantage that I do social media marketing for a living. So once I have an idea, it's pretty easy for me to mobilize. And I'm a photographer and video guy, so I'm creating the content myself. And I'm still honoring the social distancing, so I'm placing a to-go order at whatever restaurant the hospital is picking the food up from. And so while I'm there picking up my order, I'll snap a few pictures and take a few videos. But yes, we created a GoFundMe account, and we've done the rest of it through Facebook, either my business page or our local Triad Guide Facebook page that I run. And then quite honestly, I've done a lot of from my personal Facebook page.
And you told us about the reaction of restaurants and those wanting to help out. What has been the reaction of those you are helping, the nurses and doctors, those on the front line, when they see what you guys are doing to recognize the hard work and sacrifices they're putting in?
Well, that's the tricky part. And I liken it to an actual war. We were actually in a war, and the military was across seas fighting a battle, and we were sending them care packages. It's very unlikely we would ever get to see the soldier benefiting from that, but we just know that we're doing a good thing for them. And Wesley Long Hospital is less than it's a 10th of a mile from my house, and yet I'm not allowed inside the place. So for the most part, we haven't really gotten much reaction from the nurses and the frontline workers because we're not allowed access to those people. But this was where this whole thing sort of came full circle, and I think for me, it became the ultimate reward. Even though I was doing it just to do it, it's become a real rewarding process. But as it happens, my stepfather had emergency surgery 3 days ago at Wesley Long Hospital, and he's fine now. He had his gallbladder removed. On that particular day, we were supposed to deliver a lunch to Wesley Long, and it just so happens that the valet service that the hospital uses was not available to deliver the lunches. And so the hospital reached out to me and asked if there'd be any way possible that I could make the delivery. They normally don't allow it, but they asked if I could just make the delivery. And so as it turns out, I delivered the very lunches that were feeding the 5th floor of Wesley Long Hospital, which happened to be where my stepdad was recovering from gallbladder surgery. So long-winded answer to your question, my stepfather was able to take pictures of the nurses that had been taking care of him that I was feeding through this campaign. And so that was really the first time I had seen the reaction. And he sent me about 10 or 12 different pictures, and the reactions were amazing, and that memory alone is what I will carry with me for the rest of my life.
Yeah, we jokingly throw the term around as synergy a lot here on the Triangles Morning News, but that right there, a true example of the power of what happens when you help, and you were rewarded through that.
Yeah, I'd like to think so. I didn't do it for any reward. I
No.
don't plan to benefit in any way from this whatsoever. But that was definitely an unintended reward of this whole thing. And if I don't get any more, that's fine. I'll keep doing it as long as the movement continues.
And I hope this movement is able to inspire others to act across North Carolina, the Triad, the Triangle, just like you, Maury Kennedy. Maury, anything we haven't touched on, or a way for folks to maybe just find out about what you're doing, how they can get involved, and perhaps get inspired, help people as much as they
Sure.
can in this time?
Sure, there's a couple different ways. We run a Triad Guide Facebook page. It's called Triad Guide, primarily Greensboro, Winston. Find out everything that we're doing. From there, you can get to the GoFundMe account. As a photographer and video guy, I've got a Facebook page, with 20,000 followers. It's all over the country that we're also posting content on, and that page is called Laketography, like the word lake, where you would go boating, Laketography, and you can find a lot of things there. And then I've set my personal Facebook page to where it's all public, so that if someone I'm not actually Facebook friends with wanted to see the campaign, they could in fact find me and see it without us necessarily being friends. And so if you search Maury Kennedy, and I don't think there's any other Maury Kennedys in Greensboro, but you can find me there, and that's where you can find the most of the story. But those 3 different Facebook pages is where everything is happening for the most part. And there's also some links there. You'll see that there's a group that has spun off from this that's doing it in the Raleigh area, actually for the UNC REX hospital that is in Raleigh. There's a group that's doing this same type thing, and a new one that just started up that's in Asheboro. And then the last thing I would mention is that anybody who does, in fact, donate to the cause also gets a T-shirt, and they don't cost you anything for any amount of donation that anybody gives to the cause. Triad Paw Prints has created a T-shirt using artwork that Jenna Rice created, and it's a super cool T-shirt with a picture of a nurse behind the mask as the hero in this entire ordeal. So nobody gains anything from this, but again, we're helping out Triad Paw Prints because they're a shirt printer. They're struggling right now for business, obviously, because not many people are creating T-shirts right now, and then we're feeding people through the restaurants, and so we just feel like it's a win-win. And so with as much as a $10 donation, you can feed a nurse and you get a T-shirt.
Good luck to you, Maury, and we hope others follow in your path. And I know those working on the front line in Greensboro have a level of appreciation that unfortunately you can't see now, but I'm sure we'll find out down the road, years to come, what a difference you and others like you have made during this pandemic. Maury, thank you so much for your time. Good luck, stay safe, and keep on doing what you're doing, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much.